What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about MoonWell today. Well, it is pumping rather well today. We're up about 17%, sitting here at 3 cents right now. 7 hours, 52 minutes left in the day. Pumping, definitely breaking away from this downward sloping trend. Absolutely, it's validated at this point that your low is in. That's a nice double bottom to have. You're overbought in the RSI. Nice to see. If we look at this on a relative high, your all-time high, I believe, to your low that you had here of this move, you did wick right above the 382. It's very common. It's absurdly common to on your first interaction with the 382 to close to wick above the 382 and then close below it. So don't be discouraged if that happens. It's also very common to go from your 382 to your 236 and then up. Now I'm not calling for that here, okay? Because from a high to a low, that requires like a 26% drop, and it could happen. Crypto's volatile, don't get me wrong, but I'm not expecting it to happen because I don't think Bitcoin's going to move down. I don't think we're going to see any kind of like crazy drops anytime soon. So really, MoonWell, you'll probably just continue to push higher. Where would you go if you do push higher? You've got 3.4 cents. You've got this high point over here at about 3.8 cents, maybe this high right there. Maybe you do just run right up to your 0.5, man. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this thing continues going until it's at like 4.1 cents. Ultimately, you're going to keep going until you see new all-time highs. But if you were to stop here, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, if you were to stop here and go back to your 236, you're fine. You're totally fine. It's very normal to do when working your way up to your golden ratio. Finding support at prior resistance is not a bad thing, I promise you, okay? Going back to 2.42 cents is only a better opportunity to buy. It is not an opportunity to sell. So be aware of that. I'm not expecting that you do this, but that's kind of outside of the, that's on the contrary to what is normal. Okay, normally you would do this actually, but we're giving it the exception this time because I think crypto's in a bullish posturing right now. But we'll see. Over the coming days, if you were to pull back a little bit, that can happen, and then ultimately over the coming weeks, you still got higher to go. Okay, so but getting overbought like this right now, after you rejected the overbought zone, right? This rejection here, this little pivot right there, that often would bring some more consolidation. The fact that you ate it up and went right to the overbought zone, I think you continue. If we look at where you go whenever you go to the overbought zone, where do you find resistance? You're nowhere near it. I think you continue. That makes the most sense to me. I really do like that 0.5 area at about 4.11 cents. A lot of cryptos this cycle like their 0.5. Normally, it's not an area that you respect. It's actually not even a fib area, but we have it on the fib charts nonetheless, the fib retracement. But that's the area that we're looking for, yeah? 4.11 cents, I like it. 420, a little bit. Anyways, looking at this on a weekly time frame, you've been consolidating. This is the all-time history aspects. I don't consider this the all-time high. I would consider this your all-time high. So you will, right? It's a scam wick. I don't consider that. You will ultimately see new all-time highs. I think that you've been, ultimately in this consolidation phase here since March of 2024. A lot of cryptos look like this. Higher lows, higher highs, hard to be bearish. To me right now, validating that you've broken out of this downtrend implies one thing and one thing only. You're going to go to your next highs. Higher lows, you broke out of the downtrend. Now you're going to confirm the uptrend. You're going to go to your higher highs, right? I would assume being here at 3 cents, your minimum target would be 19.5 cents. Maybe you do stop at about 40 cents, somewhere in that area. I assume that after consolidating for a year, you didn't just go through all that just to stop at your minimum target. Let's see, though. Let's see. From a high to a low, you didn't even hit your minimum target last time. So it's something that we should consider that maybe you do, maybe you don't. But let's throw it on there. What would that be on a percentage basis? Okay, so from the current price of about 3 cents, that'd be about a 6x move. Okay, that's above the average crypto. That's outperforming the average coin in the market. Yeah, you could stop at 20 cents. I could see it happening. 40 cents, I could see that happening too, though. And that's a 12x, almost a 13x from here. So something in this range I think is very appropriate. There's plenty of cryptos that might not even hit their primary target zone. There's plenty of cryptos that'll exceed this, but I think this primary target zone here, the 40 cent to 20 cent area, is very appropriate for MoonWell. This is what you have to look forward to, not by the end of the cycle, but by the end of June, right? This is the next move. What do I mean by next move? Well, if we look at this, this was a move. Consolidation, move. Consolidation, move. Where's the next move going to take you? 20 cents to 40 cents. This makes a lot of sense to me. No pun intended. If we're looking at the weekly RSI here, you're bouncing at the same area that you bounced from before, Whenever you bounced here, you had a very nice pump. You didn't break out of your consolidation phase, but you did have a nice pump. When you bounced here before, you had a very nice pump. And here, I would expect that you do proceed with a nice pump and go into new all-time highs as well. It's not going to be a straight line, but whenever you zoom out on a weekly basis, I'm assuming this move, week after week, will look exactly like this move. Will look exactly like this move, right? If we're talking about end of June, end of July, let's just see if this accompanies the same thing by a time frame here. From a low to a high, that was 8 weeks there. whatever you started to move here from that week to the end of this move, that was about, let's see, 10 weeks, I think. Yes, 10 weeks. Come on now. I'm trying. There you go. From the start of the move. If we put it here at the start of the move, which I think would have been right here on this week, yes, that would put you out into literally the end of June, the 16th of June, that week. If you were to put it here, well, that's 8 weeks instead of 10 weeks. If you were to put it here, that puts you in the very beginning of June. So sometime in June, I expect you to move up just like this at this pace. But here's the kicker, okay? I think you have a stronger move than anything you've seen. I think this next move might be the strongest move that you've seen in your entire life. Let's see if that adds up. Hold on now. Let's put this at the lows, okay? And let's put this one at the lows too, because I did measure it in a time perspective, but I also put it to the highs, so we have the measurements of the moves, okay? Does that make sense? Essentially, that second move was this big. The first move was this big, okay? Now I'm going to delete these so that we just have the lines. Let's throw on those fibs and see if they line up with anything. High to low here. Boom, baby. Boom. Right there, the 1272, bigger than the last move. If you were to hit 26 cents, and I really think that you could, again, we're not saying that you're going to stop at 20 cents. You could stop at 20 cents. In all fairness, that'd make a bigger move than the last move. That'd make a move that's smaller than this. It'd be about average. It'd be about exactly what you've seen in your whole life. It's a very possible outcome that you could stop at 20 cents. But if you don't, the next target area is 26 cents. And oftentimes with the 1-4-1-4, you go just above that. If you're to go above this white line, if you're to go above the 1-4-1-4, you do provide exactly what I'm saying, which I think is going to happen, is that you will see the strongest move of your entire existence, MoonWell, to the upside. I mean, maybe this is your strongest move so far, but the strongest move to the upside, it's happening right now. And this is a common prediction that I'm making for a lot of cryptos. We've had a rather boring cycle, a rather slow-paced cycle for most coins, for Bitcoin especially. I think as bull markets continue, we get stronger moves, not weaker moves. And it only makes sense that you're going to see the strongest move of the cycle, the strongest move of your life, MoonWell. It's happening now. It's happening. You're in the middle of it now. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You're at 3 cents now. Potential to drop down to 2.4 cents. Do you get there? Do you not? I don't know if you do, but it is a normal thing. So don't be scared if you do. I'm not calling for that. Personally, if we get there, I'd actually be surprised. I do think that more so you shouldn't be considering the low side. You should be considering the high side, because there's a lot more to miss out on this upside than there is on the downside. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. With that all being said, I do think it's a good time to buy. Yes, you're up 39% this week. I think it's a great time to buy. I'm not one of those guys who's going to pussyfoot around, right? There's a lot of YouTubers out there that'll be like, it's at 40% up though. They want to cover their asses because they want to be right. They care about being right. I don't care about being right. I care about making money. If I'm wrong, if I were to buy here and I'm wrong and it goes down, guess what? I'm going to be right. It's going to happen anyways. And just in case I'm wrong, I want to hold out and not buy. Well, that is not worth it to me. This is what you should be concerned on missing. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I have no problem up 40% telling you directly, bluntly, it's a great time to buy. Get the hell in. We just broke out. You think you're stopping here? Buying here is like the equivalent of buying down here. You still had a lot more. It's like the equivalent of buying right here. You had a lot more to go. You know what I mean? Like you're not missing the boat by any means. There's a lot of growth to go. And even if you do go lower, it's fine, okay? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Looking at this on a 4-hour basis, it wouldn't surprise me if you go lower, but I don't think that you go down to 2.4 cents. Maybe you find support. I mean, hell, dude, you already did. You already went down. You already wicked down here. I guess not. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it went down. You're at 3 cents now, 2.8 cents, maybe something like that. At the lowest, 2.4 cents, but we'll see. You know, time will tell. Inevitably, you're going higher. How much lower you go is very speculative. But the upside is, it's not guaranteed, but damn, man, it's happening. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. We're looking at the upside. I've got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.